praise, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kokodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. The true Israelites, or Hebrew Israelites, are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners who may look like the other nations but believe this truth. This is Brother Shakol here with a video lesson, and as you can see from the intro, is going to be on Babylon, which is America being destroyed by fire. 200 million nuclear warheads will touch down, hit this place, and completely burn it. Like that fiery destruction we just saw. This is Revelation chapter 9 and verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, which is talking about 200 million nuclear warheads. And I heard the number of them. And when all those warheads hit America, Babylon is going to be completely destroyed by fire. And it's going to make the earth quake and shake. It says rock reel to and fro like a drunkard in Isaiah 24. But I'm going to show you that there are nuclear missiles in the scriptures. Just like we read, this one gives an in-depth description. Revelation 9 and 19. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, because the missiles they look like serpents, and had heads, warheads, and with them they do hurt. So when those warheads hit, 200 million of them is gonna bring that great destruction. The second death. Revelation 16 in verse 21. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And you already know what this hail is talking about. It's talking about those nuclear warheads. And I'll read it again. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. So warheads and nuclear destruction is all over the scriptures. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. So America will be destroyed by fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh Bashmil Shai God who judgeth her. Joel chapter 2 in verse 3, a fire devoureth before them. That's what we saw in the video, the intro, the fire destruction. when the warhead hits, and behind them a flame burneth. Now when the missile shoots off, we read the tails like of the serpents. They look like serpents. Behind the missile is a fire when it's shot off. That's what it's talking about. And behind them a flame burneth. So it's basically breaking down a nuclear missile. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, meaning there's vegetation, there's life. And behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. So all this stuff is going to get burned up, and all the people in Babylon. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So that's talking about the nuclear destruction, or radiation, if you will. So if you've seen a close up on the people in that fire that we saw at the beginning, that's what this is talking about. And for edification, we read the plague with the Lord Yahweh shall smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Jerusalem talking about the people, the Israelites, and who fought against us, these other nations, the heathen. Just to bring out the full scripture. And everybody outside of the elected Israel is going to be in the lake of fire, which is Babylon the Great on fire, like what we just saw. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So the lake of fire is talking about America from those nuclear missiles. That's the lake of fire. It's not talking about no hell. Hell is not a real thing. The Revelation 19 in verse 2, for true and righteous are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore, America's this great whore Babylon, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. So America is in the scriptures. In Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, runs this place and corrupted the earth through the democracy. In Revelation 17:6 said, this is the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. Now, check what verse 3 says. And again they said, Hallelujah, and her smoke rose up forever and ever. So clearly this is talking about the great whore. The smoke, that fiery destruction is going to burn for a long time. Not literally forever, for a long time. It just talks about the great whore in the second verse. So that's the lake of fire. And this place is going to continue smoking until all that smoke clears. And you're going to have different wild birds and stuff dwelling here. I mean, I'm speaking as a man, but hell is one of the worst things that you could ever teach. It's completely terrible. It's bugged out doctrine. It's not biblical at all. They call us bad for saying America's going to be destroyed, the Edomites and the other nations are going into slavery. Well, we don't teach nobody's going to burn forever. But I mean, but you get the point. Keep moving on. Um, 2 Peter chapter 3. This is so there's 2 Peter 3:7, verse start of 6, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished, which is the time of Noah and the flood, a great destruction by water. Verse 7, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire, which is the Babylon the Great, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So back then, there was a great flood, and this time there's gonna be a fire. Now we go back to Revelation 20. And verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So the second death is talking about those missiles, that lake of fire, that fiery destruction. So if the first death was the first death is Noah and the flood. So the first death is Noah and the flood, which was on the earth. The second death, being the lake of fire, is going to be on the earth too. It's going to be that great whore, because it's the second death. So it just makes sense. So that's the lake of fire. So the lake of fire is going to be on the earth. That proved there's no such thing as hell. And then we read verse 15. I'll read it again. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So if you're not of the elect, which will be delivered in the chariots when Yahushua and the holy angels return, then you're going to be in that lake of fire, America being destroyed by fire. The second death. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. So we're hoping for this is salvation. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. The chambers are talking about the so-called UFOs, the chariots, which our Lord Yahushua and the holy angels are coming back in. So how will we be delivered from that destruction is through the chariots being beamed up. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed, the indignation being the fiery destruction. Revelation 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark, which is the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone from those nuclear missiles, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So those who take the chip will be in that fire, the nuclear fire, like we just saw, and it said in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So that's when the Lord Yahushua and the holy angels come back. So they're not going to be there's not going to be no movie show in hell where Yahweh and the angels are there. Is this because it proves they're coming back in the chariots. Up they're coming like the crack the clouds, if you will. And then so there's another one that proves the destruction is going to be that America will be destroyed, Babylon, and that it will be on the earth. Second Ezra 13. I'm just only going to bring out one verse because usually you want to go into this whole thing. Let me speak for myself. Or 2 Ezra 13 in verse 3. And I beheld and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Just talking about Yahweh when he returns in the thousands of the heavens or the holy angels. Returning in the chariots of so-called UFOs. And when he turneth his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. So Yahweh is going to crack them clouds pretty much. And so the things are going to be he's going to be coming up above in the chariots. So the earth, all the people are going to be under Yahweh and the holy angels. And that fire and brimstone will be under Yahweh and the holy angels. And those who take the chip and all these heathen nations are going to be in that Zechariah 14 and 12. The plague, the fought against Jerusalem, the flesh shall consume away, and so on. Now let's go to 2 Ezra 15. In verse 10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and will smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So Egypt being America, this modern Egypt, the great city, spiritual Sodom and Egypt in Revelation 11, same as Babylon the Great. America, this Egypt is going to be, the whole land is going to be destroyed in that fire. And it said, but I'll bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. That's Yahweh Shai. He's going to come back and deliver the elect, beam them up from this from the destruction of this new Egypt. And I'm already going to Isaiah 19. Wow. Isaiah chapter 19 verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. That swift cloud is a so-called UFO, a chariot is called. And we know this Egypt is America. That's how Yahweh is coming back in the chariot with the holy angels and other chariots. And shall come into Egypt. And the main deliverance is from this place, Babylon the Great, this Egypt, where the destruction will be. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So, let's go with Revelation 14. It says, fire and brimstone, those take the chip in the presence of the holy angels in the presence of the Lamb. Because that's how our Lord is returning in the cloud. And we read all all things trembled that were seen under him. The man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So it gives you a place and a time. Our Lord is coming back because he's going to destroy America. And you're going to shoot laser beams from those chariots. To also shoot laser beams on people who take the chip with the holy angels. And a time because it's going to be when the mark of the beast is on the scene, the RFID chip. So when you see the RFID chip on the scene, you know Yahushua is coming back soon in the time of Jacob's trouble. Matthew 24. In verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars, or the tribulation, so the tribulation is Jacob's trouble, when all hell will break loose. And then we read, and the stars shall fall from heaven, that's the missiles, and it will destroy all the land thereof. We read in 2 Kings 15 by that fire. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man, that's Yahushua, coming in the clouds of heaven, those chariots, which already the Lord rideth upon the swift cloud and cometh into Egypt. And that's where the greatest deliverance is going to be from. Enter into the chamber, my people enter into the chambers, and be not in that indignation, that second death, the fire. The Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So all the Israelites of the elect chosen for salvation will be delivered. Genesis 49. Because it said to gather the elect. Those chariots, Genesis 49. And 10, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. Shiloh is Yahushua, Son of Man, and we read the clouds of heaven. And peep this, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. And we read, he coming with the holy angels to gather the elect. That's an example of this. So Yahushua or Shiloh, his true name is Yahushua, but Shiloh's talking about Yahushua in his verse 10. Isaiah 34. In our enemies, the Edomites, are going to be the one of the main people for destruction. This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's talking about that nuclear mushroom cloud like we saw. The heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll of fire, destroying Babylon the Great. And all their hosts shall fall down, as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. And so that's that fire and brimstone that we read about in Revelation 14. Verse 5, for my sword, the missiles, like we read in Joel 2, of fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. In Revelation 9, they look like tails like unto serpents, and they had heads, the warheads which them do hurt. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is talking about the Edomites. That's another way of saying the Edomites, the so-called white people, Esau, Edom. and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So these and what does it say in Job chapter 21 verse 30? That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. So the Idumeans, the Edomites, who are the wicked, are reserved to the day of destruction. Those missiles that the fire devoured before them. They're destined for destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Now, to further prove who is the wicked, Malachi chapter 1, and I'll start at verse 3. And I hated Esau, the so-called white man, the same thing as Edom, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but same thing as Idumea. But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel of hosts, they shall build. So the Edomites are associated with building. And that's what you've seen the so-called white man do. But I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So it said, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, the Idumeans, the Edomites, and that sword is going to come down upon them and destroy this place, Babylon the Great, the people against whom the Lord Yahweh shall strike any nation forever. So, thinking about close out there. Well, actually, who's going to shoot missiles on America? It tells you in Isaiah chapter 13, in verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. The Medes is Russia, the them is America, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delay in it. Their bows, the missiles also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. In Babylon, the Egypt of Babylon, America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh Shai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire. So Babylon has the same destiny. These Edomites have the same destiny. And that smoke is going to burn for a long time. That lake of fire. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah burnt. And Russia is going to shoot those missiles on America. Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall be dwelt in from generation to generation. So no man is ever going to live in this place. It's just going to be a desert with these different wild creatures. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Now Revelation 17, this place is the whore. Start at verse 16. In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, dealing with going to be certain European nations, these shall hate the whore America. So their own people, certain European nations, are going to come up against America, as it says here, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. So America, this whore, these certain other European nations are going to shoot missiles on America. So it tells you Russia will, and then these other these certain European nations will. Revelation 16 back here in verse 20, and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And so we read about the great hail out of heaven. So that's what's going to happen when from that great hail from the warheads. That's how we not know it's not this. You got to have the eyes to see it. Revelation 21:8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. The heaven that departed as a scroll, the nuclear mushroom cloud, and 2/3 of wicked Israelites in America have wicked qualities, and they will burn and be destroyed in that lake of fire. The second death, the nuclear missiles. The first death, the flood. The second death, the missiles. And we're going to see this place burn. The elect will hopefully with that number. Psalms 91, verse 8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So we're going to see that fire. And the wicked being the Edomites and 2/3 wicked of our people. And the people of our people that die on this side, they're saying that fire or the famine, they're going to come back in the kingdom. So all Israel is going to be, immortal bodies in the kingdom, chilling, everlasting life. All the heathen will be in captivity. Revelation chapter 15. Maybe we'll close out here in verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. What do you think this fire is? America on fire. We read, she shall be utterly burned with fire. Babylon the Great. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast. Who'd gotten the victory? The elect. The Israelites are the elect. The remnant over the beast and over his image. And over his mark. The Revelation 13:16, the microchip. So the elect wouldn't take the mark. And they won't take the mark. And over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass having the harps of Yahweh Bashmi Oshai. So what is this talking about? It's talking about the elect being in the ship, the chariot upon the deliverance, enter into the chambers, and seeing, it said, I saw as a sea glass mingled with fire, seeing that fire. So from that bird's eye view of the chariot, seeing that fire from above. When Yahweh Shai and the holy angels to gather the elect, they're going to be beamed up, and then who wouldn't take the ship? The Israelites from all the places we've been scattered, mainly Babylon the Great, which Yahweh Shai the Lord came to come into Egypt. Then with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and all these heathen burning the fire, the Zechariah 14:12, the wicked of our people, the Edomites, the wicked of our people and the Edomites. And this place is gonna be that desert from those nuclear destruction. And the elect will, and these European nations are gonna shoot missiles on this place. Russia's gonna shoot missiles on this place. It's gonna burn for a long time. And that nuclear mushroom cloud is gonna hit. And Yahushua is gonna be victorious over these heathens. He's gonna take their place of rulership, and then Yahushua and King David are gonna rule with the Israelites on the earth. And so, with that, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kokodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone of your wealth, shalom to elect.